Hello everyone and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today with an exciting game between Kerb and WF from the 1 Down Division tournament. So I'm really happy. Kerb, we have only seen one so far and he has been rising up in the tournaments for quite a while. And WF we haven't seen in ages as well. I think the last time against Koenig, and that was months back probably. So I'm very excited that we have both these players here on Slutsk East. The 1 Down Division tournament, if you don't know, it is a tournament where you have to drop tabs, so you have to leave some tabs empty. The rules are relatively simple. You have to get a certain amount of points, and tabs give you points depending on the number of slots that you have. So basically the way it works is that up to 3 slots in a tab gives you 1 point if that tab is empty. 4 to 5 is 2, and then more than that is 3. And so you have at least 2 empty tabs. We have an interesting matchup here as well with 20th Panzer, and then we got the weird brother 21st Panzer that is usually not very often played and also not seen as very good. Although on this map that might be one of the better ones for it, but I suggest we just go to the divisions first, and then we see how this works out. And we are going to start with 20th Panzer. Now, it looks like Kerb dropped the AA anti-artillery tab. Now, I assume, we're going to see that in just a bit, that his opponent dropped the air tab then, because otherwise he wouldn't want to drop the AA tab. Now, I'm surprised to see Kerb dropping the artillery tab, though, if he still wants to bring Air Force, because most likely that's going to get blocked by AA then. Unless his opponent also dropped the A tab, which would be a very odd choice to do for a tab to drop if your opponent has not previously dropped his air tab. So yeah, I'm curious now to see. But anyway, let's look at this deck first. In recon time, we do have the Aufklärer in a transport that can stick around, Aufklärer Panzer III. In this tab, we do have a lot of CQC. With a good amount of veterancy, so we have Seekers in A, B, and C phase. Not a lot of infantry in total, though. We get Strostrup in A phase, we got the Sturmpire in B, and some Pioneers in C phase. Panzergrenadier DP and regular one in A phase as well. And then in B phase, 2 cards of Panzergrenadier. Interesting choice. Tank tab, very odd, in my opinion. We don't actually have that much armor. We have a Panzer III in A phase together with the Beuteschalen. And then the T-34 as well as the Panzer IV-H. Now, I would expect Kerb to, with, this division matchup, to go more for the town than for the opens. Sort of expect him to at least bring another card of Panzer IV, which is going to need there. Can also help in the open, depending on what it will match, but because of that, I find this a very odd choice. But anyway, support time, we do get more tanks there, but those are more against for infantry support and light armor. They can definitely kill other stuff as well, but the accuracy is a little bit of an issue there sometimes. You get the Panzer IV F1 and the Panzer III N in A and B phase respectively. MG42 and IG33 in A phase, and in B phase a Grille ammo still comes in. And then IG18 in B phase. And what an interesting choice there as well, because it's usually more of an A phase tool for most people. AT tab, he brings a Panzervernichtungs, which is more junky, but you'll get 1 less of it. It comes with 4 single vet, so it basically shouldn't miss. Then the 45mm at nice double vet. Panzerjäger RSO, so I'm actually going to pay attention here if I can, because I'm still wondering if this thing has 8 or 10 HP, because I legit don't know. So I'm very curious to see that. And then the FK288 in A phase as well, with single vet. This is also a very odd choice. I mean, I would have expected him to, get another one. This is usually 1.5, 3 of them. And also, I could also see Pack 40 in this matchup, actually. But anyway, so I decided to go for this. I guess this is RTPs, actually. And this might be why he brings the ammo. Because I was wondering, why would he bring ammo? Yeah, you can fix some crits, and maybe if the Beuteschalen, that would not be the worst idea. But generally speaking, I'm not sure if it's worth that activation point now, but now it makes a lot of sense. And then the Pack 40 in B phase and the Pack 4388 in B phase to actually get some proper 2k on top of the Beuteschalen. Air type, the Chio, the Chio 87, and the Chio 87 cluster. This is pretty standard. And here we see 21st Panzer. an interesting division and an interesting build for it too. I am quite surprised, honestly. But let's get to it. So he dropped the artillery and the air tab. So it, of course, as we expected, makes sense that Kerb dropped his AA tab. And their T tab as well, which is pretty good with this division, but I don't really know what else you want to pass on. He still has his AA tab, so Kerb is actually not going to have free reign with his Air Force. So surprising to me that he didn't drop that tab, but maybe the way it worked out in the end, this is he just didn't know that at the time when he dropped the other tab. So a recon tab, we do get some light armor with the SPW-233, the SDF-250, I think this is one of the Panzerbüchse, Aufklär in the SPW-222, but double that, so not a lot of recon in total, and that Aufklär Panzer III as well. Infantry tab, we do have a good amount of infantry distributed throughout all phases, but definitely less CQC than in Kerb's deck. We get Sturmpires in A and B phase, Single Vet and Panzergren in A, B, and C phase as well, together with a leader. So Kerb's actually gonna, WF is actually gonna be using leadership. Tank tab, we do get the Panzer 35S, which is very surprising to me because I'm not really sure what he wants to do with that. I mean, I suppose he can pen a Panzer IV in the town and a Panzer III as well. So I guess that might be the reason why he's using it. I'm still a bit surprised. Not gonna lie. You also could take Shermans, which for the town are actually a pretty good choice. You have one card of captured Shermans as far as I do remember. Then a Panzer IV Leader Tiger and King Tiger in B phase. So we might say King Tiger IS2 matchup. We're gonna have to wait and see. Support tab, Flamers, Panzer IV Seed is another support Panzer IV. But I think the other one is better if I recall correctly. Not 100% sure though. MG42 and then the SKZ 135 150mm. This is basically a Lorraine for 2K AG. A T-Tab, Panzerschreck, Pack 38, Marder, and then the Krupp, which is definitely the better Pack 43 of the two variants. And then in the A-Tab, you get the U304F flag. This is just a 20mm, that's not super good, but the SAGF Z71 is, and then we get some Gepard in B2 around it all up. So to me, this is a very interesting build overall. There's definitely a lot of light armor in there that can also be dangerous to some extent to, I think at least the Panzer 45S can pen these tanks. We're going to see in the game. But it can definitely be dangerous to some of the armor that Kerb has, but not to all of it, especially the T-34s. Should be okay against the Panzer 45S. I don't think the Panzer 45S can really hurt it. So, I don't know. This is such a weird choice to me. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Those being everywhere basically can definitely be dangerous. I can see the reasoning in that. But anyway, I think we're just going to have to go to the game and then we actually see what the strategy behind that is. And here we are back. So let's look at the deployments as always. So down south, or let's look at the map actually first. So WF definitely got the better side here, him being on the left in the blue, because you have this flag that he can realistically pressure with some fast transports early on. And that just means that red will either have to beat down a flag or invest enough to make sure that they can hold the flag. And that can definitely be a problem. And then you also have this hill here, which can be problematic too. It's the hill, like the hill in general, is interesting for both sides to fight over, as there's definitely a decent amount of flags to grab, and blue can definitely control a lot of ground here if it gets the hill. Red likewise can get control over this town part here if it gets the hill. So it's definitely something to gain for both players. If you get this part here, you can also pressure this flag. So this is useful for both sides. However, red has less hill to work with, and I would argue that generally it's more devastating for red side if you forced off it. So that's the situation. Now, as for deployments, we do see here a push attempt by WF, although I'm not super sure if this is worth it with a slow transport. Usually I have to have something fast. Now, Kerb reacts with one Panzergren and a 45mm, which in the horse might be okay, otherwise is definitely under threat of being transport sniped by the SPW-233. He also sends a Panzer IV C with it for support, which that can definitely be a bit of an issue. In the center, we do see an interesting push here with these Panzerjäger RSO. Not actually sure how fast are these guys. Not super fast. It's going to take quite a while. Because, I mean, usually there's something here that can block the off at 2K. But Maybe not, who knows. MT42, he pushes in here with the Strasser probably, and Aufklär is going in here as well. Now, let's see, WF reacts with Flamer getting in here and here, as well as an MG42, and then SPW233 to probably transport snipe things over here. Now, as we would have expected, the main deployments are up here, so we do have a large force here of some Sturmpios, Panzergrens, Panzer 35F leader, AA, and an SKF set, the 150 for the support in the town, okay. As well as a little bit further north, a push in the major part of the town. Yeah, so this is a common angle to push, by the way. This way is usually blocked off by AT. This one is not as often blocked off, and is also much harder to block off. You'll see a rush attempt into here as well, and up here. Now, Kerb responds to that by a massive deployment himself in the town defensively, up here defensively, and even pushing a little bit more aggressively up here as well. So I think we're just going to start and see where this leads us. Definitely, yeah, and here we have the Chios right away. This is going to be a bit of a problem for WF, but this is the reason probably why he brought this U304. Because it's a single 20 mil, it's relatively cheap. At 40 points, it's affordable enough, and you can stop these Chios with just one of those. But in these areas, there's nothing to deal with them. Might definitely be an issue. And he also doesn't have an air force to take them down and then use it himself, right? If you know that your opponent doesn't have AA, you could bring a plane, fighter bomber, shoot them down, and then use the fighter bomber for bombing. But of course, this is not an option in this case. Now, fortunately for WF, there's nothing to snipe here with the Chio, at least until this thing unloads. 45 mil does not get the SPW233 yet. SPW233 kills the unit that was meant to go there. SPW233 here snipes the Aufklär. Sorcerup's going to get in though. Definitely going to beat the Flamer. In here, Chio hasn't failed to kill anything yet. Panzer RSO will kill the SPW233 there though without any issues. Oh, an FK288 up here for support. Did not notice that, and that's definitely nice there. Flamethrower getting in there, this can definitely be very annoying. Flamer got in here as well, it's going to get wiped by the Sturmpios. Panzervernichtung is up here, it's going to get spotted by the SPW233 though. This push is going super well, so Stoßtruppe and Panzervernichtung is here in a slightly wrong spot and can't really do much. Panzervernichtung is moving now, and nothing is there to notice it, so it's definitely going to kill the SPW233 right off there. 15-9 for WF with a nice, very aggressive opener. He might lose that flag though very soon. SPW233 is on the run now as the Panzer RSO are coming in. 20 mil shoots down one of the Chios. This one that was up here was either forced off or shut down as well, presumably, which would make a lot of sense. Another AA piece coming in to deal with that Chio up here. Panzer Gren now pushing forward to get this. Drostrup here won the fight though. It is better than the Flamer after all. Sturmpai here got in though. That was sneakily moving through here. And it's going to kill off that FK288. Or could definitely kill it off. It needs to move though. It's currently in a position where if the Panzer grenade lays somewhere here, it can shoot at it from a distance. Panzer 4F1 and Panzer 3 combo here versus Marder already killed SPW. Panzervernichtung is also in a position where he can definitely do some damage. He killed one of the SPWs. Oh, and this blob here killed the Marder. Well, probably have been better to just stay in the fight. The F1s are going to be a problem because they can definitely deal a lot of damage to the 50 mil. Panzervernichtungs can do a little bit as well with the G43s. It's definitely not meant for that, but it can be very annoying. Marder now pushing in. This flag flipped as well as this. This was to be expected. This one not so much. Nothing you can actually deal with these Panzerjäger RSO, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem. And they're super cost efficient too. SPW233 did not fall back in time. It is now trying to fall back. Is it going to manage it? Oh no, it's the RSO is spawning this. And it's going to get into range for the Panzer IV very soon as well. SKF set 135 is coming in, so 2k, but that's not really what's going to be needed here. Panzer 35S now coming in for the hill though. This one currently bullying some infantry. Drostrup here might reconnect soon. The problem for WF is, if he's ever going to get forced out here, all of this can reconnect. And we have a lot of bubbles here again. Not encirclement right here. Which is a 1410 flamer here might actually kill a Panzergun if Panzergun decides to move further. Oh, look at that. Panzergun here got in. And WF definitely missed a crucial opportunity here of killing this thing off. And he's running things into the... into the arms of the Panzerjäger. That's definitely dangerous. So things slowing down a little bit. Now we do have Panzer III in the center as well, as there's really just nothing that can actually contest it. We're so surprised about WF kind of neglecting this. I mean, I would expect him here to bring some barter here. But WF is basically focusing on the north, where he's losing a lot of units to these Panzer III and Panzer IV combo. I think he should have just waited and not engaged them right away, especially since these guys can come in. But here we do see the front line reconnecting, although it might break again here thanks to this Sturmpaios. Very interesting front line here. And that might be another flag. But he's losing this one now. What an interesting development here. Pack 38 unloads in time, might snipe that Panzer III M. The big threat here for this is, of course, the Panzer IV F1, which is not here at the moment. Marder now coming in as well. Chio also in there to spot and be annoying. Panzer RSO, by the looks of it, getting killed off by the 150. I think it showed its side. Yes, it did, and it does not have side armor as far as I can remember. Let's double check. Yeah, it does not. So from the side, it actually is very vulnerable to small arms fire, or in this game, I guess, in this case, big arms fire. Super fun, I know, but point is, it is vulnerable to anything not AP. Shostrup got spotted out, probably by the Aufkläder. This is what double that does to your recon, and the 150 wipes it out clean. Panzer III now coming in. That can definitely be killed by this duo right here, although you might want to activate the heat shells. The accuracy is less, but the pen here, it is a stretch. It can overpen, but it's not super likely. Now here again, we do see the bubble reconnecting again. Panzer 35S coming in. It looks like the Panzervernichtungs here got killed off, so these can actually do a bit of work here. Now spotted by this F4, but they can definitely up close deal with these tanks. 70 pen here. Yeah, we talked about this, right? I think they can do it, and they can kill the Panzer III. Gets killed by the F1 though. This thing... Oh no, it's not the SPW-222. I didn't even realize it. This has a Panzerbuchse by the look of it. Panzer III is just pushing in. I'm so surprised that there's no actual, you know, there's no 2K here. And there's not even 750 meter range on WF side. You do see a Panzer IV, but not for the south. And I'm very surprised because this would be an easy stop for him. Like, it's definitely reasonable for him. He can deal with that. But also, he has stuff here. You know, it's not like he invested nothing into this and he could just accept it. You know, basically, if you put nothing into this, you can kind of accept this and be like, yeah, whatever. Allow your opponent to do that while you grab everything up north. But he's not grabbing everything up north. It's not going that well up north. He's really struggling. So I think maybe it would be better for him to just kind of abolish this. Like, give up this. Not abolish, that's the wrong word. Give up this and this plan right there. I know it's very ambitious and try to at least put up a little bit of a fight right here because I'm not really sure how this is going to work. Kerb can basically do whatever he wants. And he's just moving in. You want everything here. Panzer III got to win here. It's very unfortunate for WF and a little unlucky too. See, this thing's now on the run. It's getting pressured by Panzer IIIs of all things. Like, that should not be happening, in my opinion. This thing getting forward very aggressively, that can definitely be a long-term issue. This is also a long-term issue. Oh, Panzer IV Oh no, the AP shell. Oh, this one has it turned off, but this one does not. Because remember the heat. Oh, gets a gun jammed. Wow. Okay, that's just super unlucky for WF. The problem is now the Pack 38 is not the tool to deal with those, because these can very efficiently deal with them, and it's getting spotted by this one as well. Oh no, can't decide what to shoot. WF had to manually target. It's gonna get one shot off, and it does not even hit. Panzer 3. It's definitely a better tool here, but again... And then a 150 again. I'm not really sure what's the plan of the 150 here. Because he doesn't need it there as far as I can see. Oh, Park 38 here gets killed in the transport as he was not unloaded. The 150 is shelling the Panzer Vries. And is now on the run again. Nothing coming in at all. This is such a weird concept to me. Like, you can secure this off up here by a Panzer IV, so that if they push too far, it can help. You can put a Panzer IV up here. You can put a Panzer IV up here. Would be so many options. Now, another Pack 38 coming in. Let's see where it's going to unload. It does not. So usually, it is actually better. I've learned this from Koenig, I think. It can actually be a lot better to not unload things, so that you can move them in where they are needed, right? If you succeed, you push them forwards. If you realize that you have to go defensive, you unload it where it is. So you call it a little bit behind, and then, but this was very aggressively being called in. So I'm very surprised about there being no unload order given at the start, because you have to pay a lot of attention to make sure that this thing does not actually get killed. Ju-87 now coming in, going after the Panzer IV here. That's definitely the big problem here, by the looks of it. It wasn't necessary, actually. Panzer Deck did the job there. The 120mm can't do much. It may have been enough when this thing was low resilience, but it is not nowadays. But it is enough to spread out the cluster bombs so that the Panzer IV can survive. This bubble here finally collapsing. Still a lot of CQC in here in the Panzervernichtungs, which is definitely a problem in the long run, as it might actually snipe things. And let's just look at that. So many wreckages. I'm not even sure how many of those got killed by this thing. Some might have been. Some others may not have been. But back to 12-12. I think WF had a really aggressive start here, really good aggressive start. But he kind of lost a lot of it by not reacting to this, and is now in a bad spot right here. The RSO might kill the 150 here. No, it does not. It still has plenty of time, probably, or at least for one shot. I think he's going to get that off. That's probably going to kill it, I would assume. There we go. Down it goes. And there's a Tiger coming. Now, of course, with B-phase, this is where Tigers are actually available for WF. So that part is not that surprising, but, you know, at least once these were gone, I would have expected a Panzer IV or something like that. Now we have a blob of Panzer III ends coming in. Panzer III, though, are there in return. This flag now re-grabbed by Sturmpire by Kerb. And that brings it back, or that brings the 30 land from Kerb actually for the first time. Now you see a Sturmpire push down south, and this thing is not going to be ready to fight that off. So more pressure down south. And WF is just not being able to respond adequately up north. He still has the problem of CQC units being hidden in here. Alpha is still providing vision as well. It's definitely not what you want. Kerb has definitely been outrating WF. I want to say SPW the whole time. But it's definitely been outrating WF for quite a while now. And I really think that WF's aggressive start here was... It already kind of went wrong. He traded ground for points with it, but he just couldn't really follow up. And I think it was kind of made worse. Let's see what this thing can actually do. Oh. Let me show you. Oh, it's not too bad. 15 rounds a minute. Oh, got still sniped by the Panzer III. But yeah, I think this was part of the issue. And then also, I think he lost more than he needed in this spot right here. Could have reacted. So this thing looked, I don't think it was that stressed out. I think they got penned once. So that would mean that this thing has 10 health. At which point, honestly, it's not too bad. Of course, you have to be very careful with how you use it, because only frontal armor. But that's good enough for me. I mean, for 35 points, this is super cost efficient. Like, this is an upgrade unit right there. I'm not sure how many divisions have it. I'm not sure how many divisions rely on it. I think in something like, what's it called? Ski Jäger, you want to take it. But I mean, if it has 10 health, I would definitely use it in this division as well, instead of some of the Martas. Might also depend a little bit. The Marta has the APCR, which is something they should not underestimate. Panzer 3 now pushing further. Panzerjäger RSO joining in, and then the Panzer 3N coming in as well as, of course, the mighty Beutestalin. So Kerb now looking to secure the open here, with the Tiger actually being a threat to his opener there. Although the Panzer 3 sneaking through here can definitely be very nasty with its APCR if Kerb decides to turn that on when he gets side shots on the Tiger especially. I don't even need it. What's the side armor again? 85, still decently strong. So you might want to use it because at the range, of course, the penetration will drop off. So the regular 100 mils that you have on the Panzer 3, its main gun here, that will, of course, be reduced significantly. So, but still, now you have finally a Panzer 4 coming in. I was surprised that SPW would call in the SPW here, because that was, in my opinion, never really going to do the trick there. Panzer 3 now engaging the Tiger. Well, frontally at this range, you also don't need... APCR will do just fine. You're that close. Oh, is this... I don't think that was an accident. I think that was on purpose. I think it did in that... And yeah. So they can get even closer. Because of course you can stop like on purpose in here. But the fact that it was not stopped here, but in here actually, was very purposefully. Is the APCR being turned off? No, it is not. I mean, at this range, even a side shot will likely pen. But, and that's basically all that SPW has here in terms of retake potential. No, they engaged Keppets first, actually. Oh, Chio uses bait for WF-720 to get in. 2 Martyrs. Only 1 Martyr. Likely spread out enough, but now these can engage. Is the APCR being turned off? Kerb is obviously microing it. Now here we get an engagement between the Panzer 4. Now the other problem is that the Beutestalin is coming in. That thing will snipe the Tiger. PCR still not being turned on, but the Tiger is showing side armor. Oh, they're currently shooting at the SPW first. Oh, SPW kills one of the Panzer 3s in return. That could be very crucial here. Is he? I think he's got to be manually targeting these support weapons. And still gets a side shot on the Tiger. I would have been afraid that... I mean, this is... Wow. I mean, he must have been manually targeting these things because the Tiger was in line of sight the whole time. So, this to me is absolutely insane. I mean, I would have been afraid that this Tiger actually gets back and gets to move out in time. But apparently, Kerb was not afraid of that. 6 and 8 all of a sudden as he grabs the whole south. He's re-grabbed this flag. He's re-grabbed this one again. But again, we do see a bubble formation. Panzerschreck coming in, but unfortunately reveals itself to the Stoßtrupp, so he can't really deal against the Panzer 3. But he's dodging the Molotov and getting to the next house, but still just out of range of the Panzer 3. Panzer 3 is about to get close enough, but out of line of sight too. Stoßtrupp trying to find the Panzerschreck. We do see another bombing run up here. Might have killed something. 2 T-34s now coming. Tiger up close. There's nothing yet to deal with that. But the Tigers, as soon as they enter the sides, that might be an entirely different thing. King Tiger now coming in to deal with the Beutestalin. Now, I would say that this is the... Yeah, even with 180. At the max range, the King Tiger should have an advantage. As it doesn't have, you know... So the way it works is, the bigger the gun, the lower the drop-off. So technically, the Beutestalin loses less penetration over range. But still, there's only a 20mm gap between the penetration of the Beutestalin and the armor of the King Tiger. Meanwhile, the King Tiger and the Beutestalin, there is a 70mm difference, but the gun, of course, is weaker from the King Tiger. I mean, it's not actually weaker in terms of penetration, but it is a, you know, lower caliber gun. I'm surprised that there's no AA here, because Kerb has Ju-87 cluster planes, and they can definitely kill that King Tiger. So, I don't know. I actually want to see these two engage. Let's see if Kerb also wants it to. King Tiger misses. Beuterstalin misses as well. Why is it moving though? If it's moving, it won't. Ah, I just want to move and then shoot while I was in range. First pen for the King Tiger. Beuterstalin on the run. But that's only going to mean that, you know, it's going to get further away from his STKF Z71. Which might be a little bit of an issue. Kirby's trying the hit and run tactic, so shooting, moving back just a bit, but the King Tiger gets the second pen and the Beuterstalin goes down. We do see an IG-33 in response, but no actual heavy armor. Panzer III is on the run as the T-34s arrive. And more armor would actually be an or an AT gun, but instead he brings a Panzer Gren up there. 1410 now for Kerb, so WF managing to stabilize things somewhat with him re-grabbing this flag. And slowly pushing back down south. Now, if, and that's a big if WF can support this, but I think he's used up all his 2K, if he can support a King Tiger with 2K HE and AA, there's not much a Kerb can do here. Because he only has AT guns to deal with that now at range and planes. And neither of those can do much if the King Tiger is well supported. But I don't think that there's any 2K left. Now, Kerb all of a sudden grabbing a lot of ground here with units that he has in here. Just because there's nothing here to stop it. So he gets that flag and this flag as well. Panzergren coming in. Maybe again too close. I think it's gonna... no, it might just get in. I think... Does Kerb trying to snipe the King Tiger with the IG-33? Because he can definitely do that. It needs to overpen though. And it needs, let's see. No, it does. It would do enough damage. But he only has 4 shells. It is not shooting so far. Okay, I think Kerb called that in a while ago and hoped that it could still deal with the King Tiger. I'm surprised. It should be able to see it. I mean, it can't miss it. The Elfclair is right here as well. It could shoot at it. Why doesn't it do it? T-34 is now pushing across here. 88 now coming in. This is definitely a problem. This can pen the King Tiger. Realistically, here we have Panzergren versus Panzergren fight, but I think there's cover difference. Both of them are doing CQC fighting, and both of them are pretty much identical. Although maybe this counts as cover. SPW-233 here might be able to flip the balance there. Still 15-9 for Kerb, with him holding these 3 flags right here. King Tiger having another go at the IG-33, I suppose, or did he spot the T-34s? No. Might also have spotted the Panzergren here. I've been promised by Kerb some things that we don't see very often, and I mean this bubble thing here, and the King Tiger versus IS-2 has definitely been one of those. But in general, it's been a very interesting game. We do see some very interesting plays, and definitely off-meta plays by WF, but so far they're not really paying off. I mean, this was not an off-meta play. Pushing right here is very much the meta for this map, in my opinion, for blue side. But I think it's just neglected this side too much, and it's wasted so many units here against those Panzer IV F1s and Panzer IIIs. And the problem is that all the tools that Kerb brought there were just cheaper than what WF brought. And Kerb had all of them bunched up. SPWF brought single things one after the other. And that's just never a good thing. Now the 88 is in. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Panzer III is on the run. But one of the T-34s is dead. The other 88 is coming in as well, though. So Kerb trying to nicely secure this off with some 88s. And here's the thing. WF has had the one card of 150s, the 2K 150s. And I think they're all gone. What he also doesn't have is any artillery or air force. So, wait. Spalling. That was not a pen, right? It was. It got penned. What? Oh, is this thing in range? No, it is not, right? It is not. Did this thing get a side shot or what? It definitely penned the King Tiger. There is damage. Interesting. I mean, yeah, it must have been the spawning secret, right? Remember correctly. What a luck. But yeah, so WF has no tools to actually deal with those 2K AT guns. I know there's one more, and that might be the last one. So if this thing dies, that's gonna be it, and that's actually a big problem because this thing can realistically die. You can definitely deal with those 88s, but having just one of them left to deal with it is a bit of a stretch. Also, you have to be very careful. You have to migrate the tank in front of it and then engage it fully, because otherwise, you're just going to get wiped by it. The other one here, the other one, 88 here, slowly moving the position of that King Tiger. Or it's waiting, actually. Is it moving? No, it is not. Does it spot it? Line of sight was a bit wonky. No, but it spots the SDKF set over there. Still 59 though, as re-wrap this flag now. Everything here up north seems to be dying somewhere. Now, the T-34 that we saw earlier died. There's just a Panzer leader that died here. I don't actually know from which side. I just saw it from the corner of my eyes. Now we do see a J87 coming in after the 2K. So Kerb is doing this very methodically, which I really love. He knows that this is what's really holding back his 2K AT guns. And I guess he is... Yeah, I mean, he knows that there's nothing else that can kill those. I guess that was in a very bad spot where he couldn't see the J87 in time. But it still reacts. Cluster go down. I don't think they damaged it though. I think they landed just in front of it by the looks of it. Yeah, it's still undamaged. So that's very fortunate there for WF. Oh, 88 is damaged though. I guess it was engaged by the Panzer 3. Panzer 4 now coming in as well. Not a Panzer 4 here coming in too. Not a Pack 40 coming in. That can also be dangerous for the King Tiger if it is in the right spot. But Kerb is not in a hurry. He has the 15-9. I think he knows that he's probably out-traded WF. So all that he needs to do is make sure that he can keep that dominance and he will be fine. Of course, he still needs to fight. This is the area where he probably can start relaxing a bit. This is not entirely over, or at least he might not know. To me, it looks like it's more or less over. The 88 here can definitely keep the Tiger away from here. Tiger can still move up close if WF ever feels really ballsy. That's definitely an option there. 88 just relaxing there. This one as well. But there's not that much time left. Again, Panzergren here spots the Pack 40. Is he going to kill it in time? I don't think it is. Panzer S50 now moving in. That managed to sneak in. That would also be a problem for the Panzergren. Yeah, now this Panzergren and the Pack 40 engaging, Pioneer engaging as well. So this is going to go down. That's going to be this flag flipping again, I would assume. Up north, things have quieted down significantly. Yeah, I'm not really sure how WF can get back into this, because he's struggling to get back down from this hill. So this whole area here is a bit of a problem for him. Panzer 4 is going to get spotted here. The 88 or the other Panzer 4 can definitely, both can finish it off. I think it's busy with the infantry at the moment. Yeah, oh, the MG42 doesn't see either of them. I think it should, probably. Might be wrong though. Oh, Panzer 4 goes down. Yeah, WF just... yeah, WF, I think, down in the whole southern area, kind of gets punished for letting Kerb do whatever Kerb wants. And then he kind of failed to... because now he's really struggling to get back in, with Kerb just dominating everything. And there we go. The 150 goes down. I think that was the last 2K piece, because we've seen one die here at the start, and then another one coming here later on as well. So this should have been the last one. So there's only 4 if I recall correctly. And that means that the King Tiger is basically useless, because you don't want to engage his 88s with it. Really don't. And the other problem is that WF's push up here was just not as good as it should have been. It kind of failed to fully secure the hill, which means that Kerb had the chance to actually get back in here. Because had he managed to really secure this, he would have gotten 2 flags, and this one is basically uncontestable for Kerb at that point. WF could even have been ballsy and tried to get through to these. That's a little bit risky and more difficult. But anyway, and then you can find angles to get back in here from up on the hill as well. But trading the hill through the open can work, but trading not getting the hill, trading an attempt of going at the hill, which is at the end of the day not successful against the south, is really not worth it. Like that doesn't work. Oh, 88 engage Tiger here. Tiger needs to run. I think one thing that could have changed a lot here would have been WF being able to grab this, because that would have let him know at least that this area here is somewhat safe, and then he might have had more courage of pushing through here, because this thing is actually a big problem and WF surrenders. But yeah, as I was gonna say, I think this thing still being alive there was a big problem, because it kind of blocked WF's freedom of movement there quite a bit. Had this thing died, he could have had a little bit more maneuverability around there and might have helped to secure the hill actually. And he really missed a chance there with the Strumpire. He could have moved in and killed it, but it didn't, so it's very unfortunate on his side. Now Kerb definitely are trading a WF there. It is only a 30-minute game, so having around 1,000 point difference is, I would say, quite significant. So that definitely matters a lot. And what else is there to say? Chronology, I mean, WF had a good open there. We can definitely see that. But then things kind of flipped, right? The immediate opener was good, but then things kind of went wrong as Kerb's light tank armada arrived, and then it just kind of continues. WF just continued to throw these kind of units at it, at the problem one by one, and it just didn't work. Yeah, look at how many units died there, and each of them died alone, right? That's a big part of the issue. And then there we go, Kerb dominating, and it's actually wow. We saw that. Yeah, that was the Panzer that killed the Tiger. That was really bad. Just so many bad things happening there. That this kill here didn't even matter anymore at that point. It was just rough to see that from there right on. It just continues and spiraled down for WF. On Kerb's side, look at that Panzer 4F1 go. And the accuracy of these things are not fantastic, but they do have a high rate of fire. And if you just have blob tactics of them, they will pen. They will hit something eventually, and they will pen. And what makes them so problematic is also that they have the potential, not saying that they're great at it, but they're decent enough. They have definitely the potential to kill lighter assets. Against these light armors, they're actually pretty decent because you don't need the heat, and the heat's accuracy is not that good. So if you want to send this thing against a Sherman, for example, it's a different story because it needs to land the heat shell, which can be an issue. But these things, not that big of a deal. Also, if you're super close range, the accuracy, of course, is going to be much, much higher. So then the heat shell is not as much of an issue anymore. And it just adds up like that. But yeah, against those lightly armored units, that's definitely a different story. They can do super well. And as I said, the problem is that they also easily just pin these units so that they are then a very easy prey. And the AT guns, of course, don't hit as easily themselves. Yeah, look at that. The F1 killing so many things here again. It's another one of them. Panzer III, not a Panzer III. Panzer III-N, not a Panzer III-L. Poof. That's rough. 88 here doing things too. Yeah, it's just... It was not WF's game. SPW233 here, getting some good kills initially. I mean, killing a Panzer III is always nice. The 150 here killed the 2 Panzer Jäger, so that was actually pretty clutch there. Tiger, of course, but it probably didn't pay off. It was there, it was nice, but it didn't pay off. I think same for this one. And then the King Tiger, with killing the Panzergren, didn't entirely pay off either, probably in terms of points, but it did the work. That was what's the matter. This Tiger might have been probably one of the few units from WF that actually paid off. That was a rough game, an interesting one. I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.